Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and a continuing series on the MiSTer FPGA DE-10 Nano board. And today I got a really fun and exciting episode for you guys because I am playing the alpha PlayStation 1 core to talk about the progress that's being made. Maybe this is even pre-alpha, I don't know what to call it, but I know it's running on my MiSTer and I'm playing these games in real time with my controller, and isn't that awesome? And I will leave a link into the description below to the person who's making this core. But before I get too far involved, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I have a Patreon link down below in the description as well. But I have played Crash Bandicoot more times than I could count. This was the first game I got on PlayStation when I was a kid, and I absolutely love it. And playing it on the MiSTer feels amazing and also wrong at the same time. Not because there's anything wrong with it. It just feels so strange to play something like the PlayStation 1 on MiSTer. I mean, we've always known it can handle 3D, we've always known it's been powerful, but it really has been more of a 2D-esque console unless you get into the, stuff like the AO46 core with DOS. But to see PlayStation Run running on MiSTer and being able to control it is a wild thing. And the fact that this core has gone from basically slight previews in YouTube videos to something that you can download as a preview is absolutely spectacular. Now, I will give you a big disclaimer on this video. I'm not providing support on how this works or how to install it. This is considered, experimental work. Obviously, there is no sound. I put the music in. Hopefully, this core gets sound eventually. It is continually being worked on, but I just want you guys to know that if you want to try this, your mileage may vary. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be crashes. It is just kind of the, first frontier of testing this stuff out, so don't expect, perfection, because that's not what this is all about. This is to hype the fact that we're getting closer on PlayStation 1. And one of my favorite early features is we can turn dithering off. I love the look of dithering when it isn't there, which is to say I really don't like dithering that much, and the fact that the core already supports that is amazing. But there's one game I wanted to see how well it ran because it is my favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time, and that is Symphony of the Night, obviously Castlevania. And I will say, at least for FMV videos, they seem to be working perfectly fine. Every FMV that I played on this core had absolutely no issues whatsoever. That isn't to say that you won't find a game that will present issues to you, but at least for Soten, it was spectacular. And seeing this run on MiSTer in HD upscaled, this looks spectacular. Everything looks like I expect it to. The pixels are great. The image is nice. Don't worry about any shimmering. This is not a video quality video. This is just talking about the core in and of itself. And of course we know, man, a miserable pile of secrets. We've all been there and heard Dracula say that. Let's talk more about the action. I don't feel any lag in the input whatsoever. I'm playing this game exactly how I'd expect it to, and it is just so much fun to see this game on MiSTer. It's also a little bit annoying because I've beaten this game like 20 times, and I can guarantee you when the PlayStation core is done, I'm going to play this game for a 21st time, and I'm going to love every minute of it. But even things like those transparent effects in Alucard's cape there as he runs into Dracula's castle look exactly like they're supposed to look. So I have absolutely no issues with the presentation. And even if there are presentation issues, this isn't a review, this isn't a preview. This is basically just a PlayStation 1 on MiSTer hype reel, because I am so excited for this. And I've mentioned in previous videos, PlayStation 1 hardware is quite finicky. The lasers love to go all the time. My PlayStation 1 right now will not play a disc if it's not upside down. And the great thing is we don't have to turn MiSTer upside down to get great PlayStation 1 gaming content going on. And it's just going to get better. Normally around the 4-minute mark is when I let you guys listen to the audio, but of course this core has no audio currently, so I'm not going to be doing that. But Death here is as mad as Alucard as he's ever been, and I love that 2D swirling effect in the background. I always have. And this looks like I expect it to look, and that's why I'm so excited about this core if you can't hear it in my voice. Having PlayStation 1 on MiSTer excites me more than Saturn, and that's just because my Saturn is in excellent mechanical condition and I don't have to fight with it every time I use it. But I wanted to play Tony Hawk Pro Skater, 1, because I played this game to death as a kid, and 2, I wanted to see, for the control-wise, how well the inputs are being handled, because this is something that if the inputs are being dropped, you'd kind of notice. And I will say, I'm as good at Tony Hawk as I ever was, which is to say, I would be a lot better if I'd been drinking. I don't know what it is, I just get better at this game the more beers or shots I have in me, but it's running exactly how I would expect it. It plays exactly how I would expect. It might be running slightly slow here and there, That could just be Tony Hawk. It's been a couple of years since I've played this game, honestly, and I just can't really remember. But I'm pulling off all the tricks I remember with the Switch Pro controller hooked up to MiSTer. I mean, of course, you could get a PlayStation 1 controller in, but that's just what I'm using. But it just feels like I'm playing a PlayStation 1. Minus not having any audio right now. Honestly, the blind taste test on this one, you probably could trick me. But it's just so impressive how quick this core is maturing. Now, of course, there is still no release date for this actually to be finished or to have sound. There's still a lot of things up in the air. So if it doesn't come in the next month or two, don't be disappointed. Don't complain online that it's not done. Don't bother the maker of it, because I don't even know what goes into making these things. I am a filmmaker. I am an artist. I am not a coder. Let him take his time. You can see at least I got through the first level on the first try, and that's what I would kind of expect if I was playing on a PlayStation. But moving right over to Ridge Racer, this is working as I would expect to as well. If you can't tell already, I'm picking some very common PlayStation 1 games, things that pretty much everyone's probably seen or played at least once, because these are the games that everyone's going to remember, and they're kind of the things that were hyped on the PlayStation when they came out. And Ridge Racer, obviously being a launch game, was a big deal because this running at home was spectacular back in the day, and it's running really nice on MiSTer now. I hit the wall there, but I'm pretty sure that's not the controller's fault. I think that was just me being stupid, because it's been years and years and years since I played this version. I will say the PlayStation 1 version is far inferior to the arcade original, which you can emulate as well. So this is just a game that I probably haven't played in, wow, probably 2 decades now that I say it. But it's running on MiSTer, and as far as the graphics are concerned, it looks incredible. And that's the big takeaway of this video, is that progress is being made on the PlayStation 1 core very quickly. We're getting updates all the time, and I'm going to have to redo my MiSTer news video coming out next week to talk about more improvements that didn't exist when I made it a few days ago. And that's how quickly MiSTer is evolving every single day, and it's really exciting to see where else this is going to go. Because obviously the PlayStation 1 library is absolutely massive. It is huge. So the idea that we'd be able to play any single PlayStation 1 game on MiSTer from our couch, upscaled into HDMI, is spectacular. I still don't know what's going on with the analog video. Hopefully that's something that we can get to put these on a CRT, but I think that is still up in the air as well. But this is going to be fun, because right now I need to take out my PlayStation 2 DVR, the big giant white Japanese PlayStation 2, just to get PlayStation 1 games to consistently play. So MiSTer is going to be a lifesaver to get all those PlayStations 1 with the bad lasers just retired as a shelf piece and playing on something a little bit more sophisticated. Now, some games are just a little bit slower than they should be. Tekken here is just running ever so slightly slower. If you can't tell, it is having a little bit of an issue and it's chugging along. No big deal. I'm sure the maker of the core is going to get that taken care of in due course, and you can actually pop up a frame counter as well, and you'll see that it's not running at its native frame rate. But the fact that it's running at all at this stage is absolutely spectacular, and I cannot wait to see what else happens with the PlayStation 1 core, because I think 2022 is going to be a major year for MiSTer. Hotego's working on stuff. We're getting this PlayStation 1 core. Sega Saturn is evolving. There's so many different cool things that are coming to MiSTer. If you don't already have one and you watch these videos, I would think about getting one soon. If you're waiting for PlayStation 1 to kind of be your entry into the system, you might want to start thinking about doing it. Short of that, if you have any questions or comments, so leave them down below. Tell me how excited you are for this coming to MiSTer. I'll have another MiSTer video tomorrow because I'm doubling up this week because I was so excited about this core. Short of that, thanks so much for watching, guys. Do me a huge favor, hit like, subscribe, and notification bell. Definitely helps us out. 2022 is looking awesome for MiSTer, and we'll see you guys next time. Law 1. Bye-bye.